So if you like to start by coming to a comfortable sitting position, and as always, please listen to your body. So everything we do has the caveat that you should be working with the principle of ahimsa, which is kindness to yourself. So if you're feeling tired and you want to rest out, you don't have to wait for me to tell you to do that. You're in charge of this session. So you rest out whenever you need to. So just start by welcoming yourself. Close your eyes if you're comfortable to do that. And just take a minute to come into the present moment. And we do that by coming into the body. So as much as you're able to, just feel that you're entering your body, because of course we spend so much time in our head that often it's like we're, 5 miles outside in the outside world. We want to come back into the present moment, come out of our head and feel that you're dropping your awareness down into the heart and down into the body. And just observe how the body is at the moment, without any judgments. And then observe how the breath is, just watching the breathing. And then also observing the thoughts. Again, no judgment. Maybe the mind's going quite fast. Maybe you're quite activated. Just allow that. And just see if there's any emotions going on, maybe you've got a situation happening or a circumstance. And just take a moment or two to observe how that might be impacting you physically. Because the idea is to come out of the head, to come out of outside, come back into the body, drop the awareness down. And it's really helpful to observe how our thoughts and our feelings affect us physically. Because so often we don't do that. And we're not acknowledging this kind of somatic experience of how things are impacting the body. And then that also means we're not allowing them to process, because we're rushing around very often trying to distract from what's happening in the body, because very often it feels uncomfortable. But just see if you can allow everything to be as it is. And then take a moment or two just to observe your posture. So this idea of coming to sitting rather than lying, in this we're just beginning to develop some postural awareness. And think about just drawing up slightly from the lower ribs. We're not kind of flaring them out, but we're just lifting the ribs. So we're not crushing over our diaphragm. We're leaving space for the diaphragm. And then, as always, this chest and heart center, this is the part that when we've been ill or fatigued or we're using screens, we tend to slightly curve over. So just consciously, without strain, have a sensation of lifting up and opening the heart. And then nod the head up, lift the chin, nod it down, lengthen through the back of the neck, tuck the chin in. And this takes the head into probably a different position from how it was when you were unconscious to this. Because all of us, myself included, we tend to slightly poke our head forward. This is screens and stress. So in our yoga session, we're just reminding ourselves to bring the head back, ears in line with the shoulders. Shoulders are open, so we're not curving the shoulders forward. Shoulders just slightly, not back in that kind of regimental way. It's not straight, but they're just slightly open. We can think of the word open. And then we're thinking of the crown of the head, tailbone, just having space between them. And then we're just going to roll the shoulders 2 or 3 times just to loosen up the upper body, particularly if we've been hyperventilating and breathing. from the chest. We're just loosening this section. And then we're going to think again about the breath. So it's helpful to close your eyes because you want the awareness to go inwards. Just start by having the jaw relaxed and the eyes relaxed. And then if it's comfortable for you, just allow the breath to begin to slow down. No strain, don't force anything. And then if you can access it, you're breathing through the nose and you're breathing from the diaphragm. And as always, just to remind us of this, very important but subtle movement. Take one hand to the heart, the other below the belly button. You're breathing into the hand that's on the belly. And that hand is very slightly, it's not too deep, it's slightly ballooning out on the in-breath, dropping away on the out-breath. And you might like to draw the navel into the spine on the out-breath just to begin to wake up the core muscles. And then you can leave your hands there or you can drop them back to your knees. And we're just going to hum the breath out for the next 5 breaths. Humming, I'm always saying it has lots of benefits. The science is the nitric oxide, of course. But in yoga philosophy, it helps to set our own vibration, our own resonance. So I will start, but I want you to see if you can find what your optimum frequency is as you hum. So we're going to breathe in through the nose and then through pursed lips. So continue in your own breathing rhythm and just sit quietly when you've finished, just for a moment or two in meditation, allowing the mind to be quiet. And then we're going to begin to wake up the body. So just interlock the fingers, turn the palms inside out, and just lift the arms over the head, drawing the shoulders back so they're not kind of forward, but back as far as is comfortable. And then just stretch the palm up to the ceiling and breathe, opening up the ribs. Keep the back of the neck long, and then just take a gentle bend to one side. Come back to center, gentle bend to the other side. And then release the palms, and then interlock the fingers behind the back. Turn the palms down behind you, just to draw the shoulder blades together. Again, helping with the posture. And again, we're just going to lift the arms up as far as we can behind us. Breathe, keep breathing. And then relax the arms down and then just shake out the arms. And then when you're ready, please come down to your mats into a cat posture or a tabletop posture. So hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And then just take a moment or two to experiment where your hands are comfortable. So you might find it more comfortable to slightly bring the hands forward, spread the fingers, middle finger in the center, be more on your fingertips, and then just slightly bring your weight over your hips. So you've not got too much on the wrists. And we're just going to start to wake up the body with some gentle cat movements. So inhale, lift the heart, don't take the head too far back. Exhale, navel to spine, hang the head as you round. And then just a few movements like this with the breath. Thinking of the navel coming to the spine on the exhalation, drop the head. And just feeling that gentle wave movement up and down the spine. And then pausing. And then we're going to carry on with the movement that we started last week, which is so good for the back. So we're going to breathe in and lift the right arm with the palm facing in, keeping the back of the neck long, looking down at the mat, taking a couple of breaths, arms in level with the shoulder, and then bring that right hand back to the mat and just have a couple of breaths in neutral cat. And then when you're ready, we'll do that on the left side. So breathing in, lift the left arm up, palm facing in, looking down to keep the back of the neck long. Couple of breaths here. And then drop the left hand back and just center yourself again. And then we're going to do that with the legs. So the leg, when it comes out, is level with the hip. So breathing in, take the right leg back, lift that right leg so it's level with the hip, push away with a flexed foot, look down at the mat just to keep the back of the neck long, and then drop that right leg, and then in your own breathing rhythm, take that to the left. And then when you finish, just take some resting breaths. So you might like to rest in pose of a child. So if you would, take your bottom to your heels. Head comes down to your mat, or you can make two fists and rest your forehead on your fists. Or you can have your arms in front, or even tuck them around behind. And if you like, you can place a block under your bottom. And if that's not comfortable, then just rest in any way that is. But just enjoy some resting breaths. So as I always say, when we do transition to recovery, we are always remembering to rest between movement, just to let the body restore and recalibrate. So just enjoy resting out. And then when you're ready, and if you would like, everything's an invitation, come back to your cat posture. We're going to put those two movements together. It will be opposite arm and opposite leg. So come back to your cat posture. Just check through again, your fingertips, middle finger in line, centered, weight over the hips. Take a moment just to get into the correct. Correct's another word I don't like in yoga. It's too regimental, but just, to get into the asana, the posture. And then we're going to start with the right arm and the left leg. And this time the foot is going to be pointed. So when you're ready, lift the right arm level with the shoulder, left leg lifted level with the hip. This time the fingers are pointed away from you, as are the left toes. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Only hold as long as it's comfortable. And then when you're ready, you take the right hand back, left knee back. Take some resting breaths in neutral cat. And then take that to the left. When you come back this time, decide whether you would like to do that once more or whether you would like to rest again in child's pose. So, big message from this class is to listen to your body. What does your body need? Does it need a bit more rest? Remembering we've still got more postures to do. So would rest be of more benefit, or would you like to try that once more? Always moving with kindness and this attention to how you're feeling, how you are. Listening to the feedback from your body. Now in a minute, we're going to do Ardha Mukha Svanasana, the down dog pose. So just rest now when you've finished. And again, just let the body restore, recalibrate, let the breath come back to normal. Now, in a minute, when we go to the down dog, I'm just going to say, I am moving with you if you need to look at the screen, but you don't really need to look too much because you can hopefully follow my voice. It's also, I'm in Spain and it's really hot here, so I'm not holding postures for too long because it's 32 degrees. So I think it's a bit cooler where you are. So if you would like to do a down dog, please come back to a cat posture. And again, remember that you don't have to hold the posture as long as everyone else or as long as me. This is your practice. So whatever you do, I want you to listen to your body. So please start by coming back into your cat posture. And then the way I teach this is just to bring your hands, one hand's pace forward. So you're bringing the hands slightly forward from your shoulders and tuck your toes under. And as we do this posture, this asana, have the navel into the spine just to protect the back. So just gently drawing that navel in, toes tucked under, and we come into this posture on an out breath. So breathe in where you are, and then on the exhalation, lift the hips to come onto the toes. Don't yet drop the heels, and just start to move your chest in towards your thighs, and look at your knees to keep the back of the neck long. Think of the hand position, middle finger facing forward. Come out anytime you need to, but if you would like to keep moving, bend the left knee, take the right heel towards the mat, and then lift that right heel, bend the right knee, take the left heel towards the mat. So just pedaling. Keep listening to your body. Anytime you want to come out, you come out on an inhalation. And when you've finished, and when you have come out, I'd like you to please lie back into Shavasana. So in a minute, we're going to do some standing, but before we do that, please rest.